Interesting. Do they go over? Do they go under? Let's see, it goes over. Wow. Alright, so I got all my Triumph gear on here. Hopefully the mic is recording. That goes under or over? Well, we'll see. I think it goes over. I could be wrong. Alright. So I got the bike kind of wedged in here. I'm trying out the new boots and the new riding gear. So let's see how it works. Alright, hopefully I'll be nice and warm. I don't know if you can, what you can see of the riding gear. Maybe you can see it in the mirror. We also have the buff on, neck buff. There we go. Quick little ride. Alright, so the boots are a little stiff, but that's to be expected because they're new. Motorcycle boots are always kind of like a goofy thing to me because I never know how stiff should they be. You know, is it too stiff, or do they get worked in? Alright, so I got this buff on, neck buff. It's like a motorcycle scarf made by Triumph. It's actually doing a pretty good job. I guess I'll have to kind of fart around with it to see if I can get it right. I can feel a little bit of air coming in. Alright, so it's like, I don't know, 40 degrees. And I have the Triumph Adventure boots on and Triumph Kalahari jacket and pants. And they're insulated. And they're doing a pretty good job. I can feel a little cold coming in through the front. Now underneath, I have just a t-shirt and my skivvies. Can't believe I just said skivvies. Anyway, I'm going to turn on my heated grips. Now, the interesting thing is, do I really need heated grips? Sure I do. All situated here. In fact, I'm flying first. That's the thing with new boots. You know, because of the lack of flex in the wrist, excuse me, in the ankle, it's kind of hard to feel where your gear is, or actually actuate it or move it. Now, hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully it's not too drum-like, because I have that scuff underneath the helmet, and it really is isolating the noise and the wind, which is a good thing. Alright, so this is I'm going to break this video up into a couple of sections. One being the new bike, Triumph 800. Tiger. So it's a Triumph Tiger 800 roadie, not the XC. The XC has a little bit more travel in this suspension, and also has spoked wheels. The roadie has aluminum. The handlebars on the roadie are a little bit more forward than on the XC. XC is cross-country, by the way. Triumph makes two versions of it. I'm not too sure why. I'm glad that they did, though. But it's to compete with the BMW GS 800. Alright, so now I'm getting a little bit more better use with these boots. Get a little hang of it. So I was eager to try out this gear and my bike in the cold. And I've been a little busy and a little preoccupied with another Triumph that I picked up that I'm working on. It's non-running right now. And I'll do some videos on that. Now, it's November, and it's like 4 o'clock. Getting a little semi-dark, I guess. And this is when all the deer like to come out on these roads. So you gotta be a little more cautious, careful. Oh yeah, I can feel those heated grips. They feel great. Wow. That's one of the things, when you get a motorcycle, sometimes you're kind of limited to when you can actually ride it. You know, especially where I live, it gets, you know, you only have a couple of months in the summer, and it's either too hot or too cold. So this way, if you have the proper gear, and maybe even the proper motorcycle, you can ride all year round. And that's the reason why I kind of got this bike. I wanted to make some more longer trips than I have been in the past. And I figured this would help me, rather than being on a sport bike. And making some trips up north, you know, 400 or 500 miles. And really make an adventure out of it. And excuse the pun there, I guess, because this is an adventure bike, supposedly. And a little bit of sun there. So, I got this bike. I traded in the old Ducati. I really liked it. But, I don't know. I felt like it was a museum piece, and I don't mean that like as it was an old motorcycle, but I felt like I didn't want to do anything to it because it was in such beautiful shape, and I don't want to dick around with it. And I like to mess around with my bikes, add things, take things off. And I tell you, the fairings on there were really complicated to take on and off, and that was another little bit of a pain. So if you wanted to do things, it was like, you know, you ended up with a jigsaw puzzle on your hand. Alright, so I ended up getting this bike here, and it is the 675 engine, I guess, stroked out or extended out to 800cc. And it has such a terrific range from low down to high. It's nuts. It doesn't matter what gear you're in, you have the same type of pull as you're driving it. So the options were this, or maybe even the new 1200. The 1200, I didn't know was coming out until after this. And the 1200 is a big bike. I tried it, and after I got this, and I was like, wow, it's nice, but it's just really big and a lot more heavier. This one, I think, is a little bit more. You obviously have less power. It's a lighter bike, and you really can take this off-road. And I'd like to be able to do that a little bit more often. Or try it more, I guess. Now with this, I got the panniers, or the hard luggage. I'm going to do a video of putting that on. The nice thing about luggage, I never consider myself to have a bike with luggage on it. It's Triumph's luggage, it's kind of plasticky, but it's really nice to have that storage so that if you do go on a long trip, you got a place to put your stuff. Now I'll tell you, I took this bike on like a 4-hour ride, and it was pretty comfortable. I think by the end of the ride, I think my butt was hurting just a little bit, And so one of the options is a gel seat. So I might get a gel seat for this. It's a very minimal gel seat. So who's to know if it really works. But the bike handles pretty well. And it's got some nice power to it when you need it. It's not my Super Duke by any means. You can see, I mean, it goes, it's quiet. I have the original exhaust on. The neat thing about this bike, it sucks up the bumps too. I'm telling you, this is a bumpy road. The nice thing about this bike is the exhaust sound. That 3-cylinder is fascinating, especially while the engine's like deaccelerating. You hear this like little gentle popping from all 3 cylinders, and it's supposed to be like that. I think the Triumph engineers thought, well, maybe there was an accident. They're like, oh, it sounds pretty good. Let's keep it. So, okay, so real quick. So get back to the gear. Kalahari jacket and pants, and the pants are really comfortable, and the jacket's comfortable, and like I said, it's cold right now. It's like 40 degrees, and I'm really not that cold. And alright, now the trick is when you have boots on and a lot of gear, it limits your mobility, and so you got to take that into consideration when you're stopping and going. I guess until it works in. Same with the boots.